Hello everybody out there, I'm Chris.
Mike.
And welcome back to another comic book countdown. And in this countdown, the books that we will be counting down were released on
February 18, 2015.
And yet again we have, or I have, 11 books. So we are counting down from 11. And ironically, Mike has 3 again.
Ironically.
This coming episode next week will be very different. Next week we have, or actually, this is late, by the way, again, and there's a reason for that. Again, I tell you guys, watch the haul this Friday, and it all will be explained why. Or on the we'll talk about the live show at the end of this show. Anyway, there's a lot of books coming out next week, so we're gonna have a lot to discuss. Indie and Big 2 wides. It's the last week of the month. You guys know they throw everything at you at the last week of the month. I'm looking forward to March, though. There's a lot of stuff coming in March, and the weeklies will be ending. Thank you, Lord.
Thank God, indeed.
Speaking of the indies, let's jump right into number 11, and that is
Indies.
World...
You mean weekly?
Weeklies.
You're thinking of the indie review.
I sure as hell am.
Yeah.
Speaking of the weeklies, number 11 goes to World's End issue 20. To be honest, guys, the weeklies have been the weeklies. It's very hard to get these guys up above the bottom 3 spots on my review. With World's End, the avatars all combine into one avatar, which, who didn't see this coming, it was Green Lantern,
Wow.
to become the ultimate avatar to protect Earth 2. The others make it to Sloan's spaceship, but Sloan is there, and if they want to live through this experience, they have to allow Sloan to live, which, yeah. The artwork in the book is pretty good, though, I will say that. I did really like the artwork in this book. Yeah, Batman and Huntress actually find Oliver Queen in this issue. We get introduced to Obsidian and, what was the other girl's name? And Joni in this issue, so we get to see Obsidian, which isn't Green Lantern's son, which is scary. Lots of good stuff developing with Dick Grayson's son also. I like that they're introducing characters as the world is basically ending, and this probably will play into Earth 2 society when that starts. But all in all, really not much happened in this book to make me go, wow. And number 10 goes to Batman Eternal issue 46. I feel like this is the Riddler all over again. Batman chases after Ra's al Ghul, believing it's him who's behind everything, that Ra's al Ghul is the one that planned all this. And it turns out Ra's al Ghul is still healing from the events in the Batman and Robin series, where Batman got Damian back from him. And yeah, he's not in any shape to take on Batman, and he believes Batman at this moment is at his lowest point. And Ra's actually says, "Come back to me when you are at the best," or something like. We'll get to that. Also, we got Selina Kyle now, who used to be Catwoman, who believes something more is going on. She thinks her father's behind it, but he's not. And she says, "Okay, fine, I'll believe you, but you can pull strings, find out what's going on, because everybody's planning against Batman, and something's going on in the underworld." And we find out just what that is at the end of the issue also. I like the hallucinations Batman gets. You get to see Dick Grayson Batman, you get to see future Batman from Future's End, you get to see Batman Beyond, and then you get to see Batman, and it's all like Ra's al Ghul reaching out to him saying where, or not actually Ra's, it's what was this? It's hallucinogen gas from why does this guy's name elude me?
Which guy?
I'm looking for, hold on. Batman says his name too, and it's hilarious that I can't remember it. But anyway, the question, Ebenezer Dark. The question in the book is Batman Eternal, and Ra's actually says, like I said, at the end of the book, come back, save yourself, figure out what's going on in your city, make yourself legend, and then wait for me. That was an epic final line for Ra's al Ghul. And Batman doesn't want to believe Ra's isn't behind it at first, but then he finally realizes Ra's is right. So, who's behind it all? And we're at issue 46. We only have or 5 weeks left.
Yeah.
Who is behind it? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. We have 6 weeks left. I apologize. We have 6 weeks left.
We can do math.
Who's behind it all? Who's behind it all? That's the question. And I guess we'll find out as the series rounds out to its epic conclusion. Futures M42, I feel like at this point they've given up on the Futures End and now they're just working towards convergence because you got Superman back in the picture, you've got a ridiculously crazy Mr. Terrific here, you've got Batman releasing Brother Eye to stop Brainiac, you got Superman trying to stop Brainiac, Terry, aka Batman Beyond, and the fight between him and the Batman Joker composite comes to a dark conclusion. It turns out Adam actually is still alive in Adam form, so to speak, and he's the reason why Brainiac loses New York. He was trying to extract it and make it into a bottled city, I'm guessing. But things go right up until the last page where Brother Eye takes over and he basically tells the world, I am here to protect you from Brainiac. And Superman's out cold by the end of this issue, by the way.
Wow.
This was number 9, by the way. So the weeklies they remain where they are, and they probably will stay here all the way through until the end of the weeklies. I don't read Wolverines. That would be my least favorite for sure. I've been checking that out digitally, and it's just not worth even reviewing at this point.
Number 8.
Number 8 is Nova 27. I liked it, but it was very predictable. We all knew that it was either going to be the sister or the mother pretending to be Nova, throwing Carnage off, and sending Carnage after Nova, and leaving Sam Alexander alone. Sam does get his helmet back, and the final epic fight between Nova and Carnage begins. And why is Carnage so hell-bent on destroying Nova? It's because Nova saw Carnage at his best as a good guy during Axis, and he doesn't want anybody to remember that, so he basically wants to erase everybody who saw Carnage as a good guy. And he gets hauled off to Rikers Island. I love Nova, who wants to just throw him into jail, and the guy's like, there's a procedure, and then Carnage is like, usually Spider-Man just swings away, and he's like, oh, really? And he flies off. However, throughout this entire issue, the helmet is still screwing up, so Sam is now looking for help to fix the helmet. He goes to Beast, it doesn't work. Tony Stark, jerk. He goes to the Baxter building. We all know that the Fantastic Four is going through hell right now, but Doc Green is there, and this all leads into the annual. Apparently there's going to be a Nova annual.
And that's going to be lots of money. For an annual.
That means $5 right there to conclude this story, or to at least get the next part where Nova's helmet. I don't know. I might get it digitally, to be honest. At this point, Marvel really has to wow me for $5. But this was my number 8. Number 7 goes to Wonder Woman 39. Still struggling in the world of Man and as Themyscira's queen. She's off this time with Batman and Superman, which it's nice to see the Trinity in this book. And she almost slips and kills the person that they're trying, or the creature they're trying to stop. And you see that Wonder Woman's a pretty dark person sometimes. She's willing to make the sacrifice, or make the move that most aren't willing to make. She goes back to Themyscira. It turns out the mother is part of the island now because she was turned into clay, and her roots sunk so deep into the island that she's now basically the spirit on the island. And you see all hell's breaking loose on Themyscira because you've got now Donna Troy, who wishes to lead the Amazons to destroy the world of man, or destroy the men that are on the island at least, and lead them the Amazons from now on. And you got Wonder Woman, who's looking to oppose her, and when she does that, Donna's like, and who are you? She's like, I'm the queen. And Donna's like, no, you were the queen. And it ends, it doesn't even say to be continued. It just ends right there as they clash. The way I explain this book is how fast I got through this book. There was a bit of dialogue in the beginning between Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman, which held me up for a little bit, but basically after getting through the first part of this book, the rest of the book was a quick read. I am liking the path that this book is going on. I'm really liking Wonder Woman a lot better than her previous story arc, but it was a very quick read this week, or else it would have definitely been higher, but I'm still loving Wonder Woman. Cannot wait for the next issue where we get Donna Troy versus Wonder Woman. Number 6 goes to Legendary Star-Lord, issue number 9, Black Vortex, chapter 3. Another falls to... Now, we all saw in the end of the last issue that everybody was turned by the Black Vortex. It turns out that didn't happen. But you have Beast and Gamora looking to defend the Black Vortex and to not have the others destroy it. One other person is converted. I'm going to spoil it. It's a week later already. And it was Angel. He now is with Beast and Gamora as well, and all three of them are defending the Black Vortex. There's a scene with Pete's father. Again, read the book. It's really good. Black Vortex is going very well. And then you have the epic fight between everybody versus Gamora, Beast, and now Angel, who are all superpowered thanks to the Black Vortex. And in the end, basically, they escape with the Black Vortex, and Kitty Pryde tells Pete, if you would have listened to me from the beginning and destroyed the Black Vortex, all this wouldn't have happened. What kind of person are you to want to wait? And that's when Daddy Dearest and Nearest shows up and says, to be continued in All New X-Men, issue number 38, which comes out, ironically, came out today, but we'll be doing it in the next episode. And in March we have All New X-Men Guardians Team Up number 3, which number 1 I believe just came out, is just coming out next week, so we're gonna have 2 issues before that. Guardians of the Galaxy 25, Nova 28, and Legendary Star-Lord 10 again. So got a lot of books continuing Black Vortex. Interesting story. I enjoyed it. This was a very good issue, but the cover is very misleading. Do not believe the cover. Number 5 goes to Miles Morales, The Ultimate Spider-Man, issue 10. Why? Because really, I don't know, I didn't like one part of the book, and I'll explain why. It's not that I didn't like it, it sucked. I didn't like it because I didn't like the advice Miles was given. But anyway, you have Miles' dad, who is, well, first of all, the police are still looking for those bootleg Spider-Men. Second, you got Miles' dad, who's back in Miles' life. He's at the academy looking to say that his son is coming back, and the principal's like, are you looking to stay? Because you ran away once, you know, I'm rooting for you, Dad, but are you staying? And he's like, yeah. And then she's like, well, when is Miles coming back to school? He says, tomorrow. I gave Miles a me day. And FYI, a me day for Miles is basically him being Spider-Man. You got Sabretooth and Electro fighting each other, and then they turn onto Spider-Man, and it's up to Spider-Man to stop them. However, he has help from his good old friends from the Ultimates, Cloak and Dagger. And it turns out that since his father's been back, Miles has taken a bit of a break from the Ultimates, apparently. And he actually seeks advice from Cloak and Dagger about telling Kate his secret. And I love how Cloak's like, can't you erase her memory or something? He's like, no, why? And she's like, well, you can't kill her. And then basically the whole talk was screwed up, and I didn't like. That was dumb. That was a really dumb scene. And then Gank is trying to talk Miles out of going to see Kate, but he decides to go anyway. And then the ending has, we all know Kate's parents are part of Hydra, and let's just say Miles is not left in a very good position by the end of this book. Interesting issue, but again, I feel like this last story arc is kind of like, first we got the father's background, now we got Miles getting captive, getting captured by Hydra. Let's see where it goes from here. I'm definitely looking forward to Miles' involvement during Battle World and as Battle World moves forward, because that's going to be the new Marvel Universe for at least the next year, until one major event saves it all. And number 4 goes to Batman and Robin 39, because it's still Robin trying to figure out his powers. He actually uses his powers to intimidate several supervillains in Gotham, but then out of nowhere, as he's trying to intimidate them, his powers blip. He's carrying them in the air, tied up, and all of a sudden his power goes blip, and he almost drops them all to their death. If not for Bruce being there, or should I say Batman, they all would have died. Bruce takes Damian on a little fishing trip to kind of calm him down a bit. That doesn't go well. So, more tests on Robin, and apparently they find out that Robin's pain receptors just aren't kicking in. Like, he's not feeling the pain, but he's not bleeding either, but he doesn't feel anything, and that's the problem. And I think it's starting to wear on Damian too, because he even says to Batman at some point that he can't feel anything. You see him banging his head against the wall. So I'm sure it's frustrating Damian as well. Batman gets called by the Justice League, leaves Damian for not more than 2 seconds until Damian starts using his powers again to try to intimidate the villains of Gotham, and then decides, you know what, you should come with me. So Robin ends up going with Batman. Robin, there's a little bit of dialogue between him and Shazam. He actually gives some valuable information about what they're looking into. The reason I'm not telling you guys, it leads into the next issue, because Robin ends up tagging along with Batman, Superman, and Shazam in their next Justice League mission, and the next issue is called Super Friends. That's going to be interesting. I'm enjoying Batman and Robin for what it is. The only reason I put it above Miles Morales' Ultimate Spider-Man is because Miles Morales' The Ultimate Spider-Man was a quick read, and that was a very weird, and I felt uncomfortable during the conversation between Cloak and Dagger and Miles with his girlfriend. This, on the other hand, was very good, and we see that Damian's superpowers, and we get a little bit of an explanation on how, like, Batman does have a hypothesis on how Damian got his powers. Check it out in this issue. It'll all be explained there. But I like how this is going, and I already have the feeling that these powers are only temporary, that at some point they will disappear.
What time are we at?
We are at enough time. So Michael is at now number 3, so you start with number 3.
Okay, Iron Fist Living Weapon issue number 9. Brace yourselves when you hear this.
Minecraft?
I did not like this book. I will tell you why I did not like this book.
Are you dropping it before it concludes?
Well, I am going to finish the run since I start from the beginning. Alright, first of all, let me just talk about the artwork first of all. First of all, the artwork was all over the place. It starts off where Kunlun at first, before, what's his name called? Before,
oh my god,
Fu was,
Fist?
yeah, where it talked about Fu's origin, and then Iron Fist along with, his, teammate, I forgot what her name was. It's just, all this artwork kind of really threw me off, and it's just both of them going up against...
I love the Kill Bill outfit.
Yeah. It's just basically just them going after all these people. Like, there are monks that come in as well, and it's just all a fight
It looks
scene.
like it's all over the place.
Right, and he actually... what's her name? I just can't remember. But, yeah, he basically, Iron Fist meets the killer who killed his father, who actually appears in this issue, and he just tries to get into,
That hurt my eyes.
yeah, Iron Fist's head, and the artwork is just disgusting. After that, I was just like, you know, he's just like saying, I was close to immortality of Kunlun and all this other stuff, and yada yada this and that. You could definitely read the book if you want to find out more about Iron Fist's father and stuff like that. So he's saying that his fists are better, and, you know, all this is for Kunlun. And then the end of the issue, thinking that Fu was not real, he was real, but he's actually... sees him as being dead and stuff like that. So it just says, you know, fight for Kunlun and fight for life, because all this is just gonna just hurt and stuff like that. I really did not find any interest in this book. What the hell was I reading? Can anyone enlighten me what the hell I was reading? Because
everybody on Frontline warned you.
No. Now, that was before when the issues were good. If they said this issue now was bad, now I would agree. And every single time when there's a cancellation in the comic book, it starts to suck. Or get worse. If I want to put it in proper terms.
I don't like that cover. That cover is
yeah, the cover I could always ignore because it's really the story.
Yeah, well,
the plot,
let me get
everything
through my
was
next
just,
one. So
I don't even know if
cover
I'm
it.
going to review for Comic Frontline, to be honest. I'm in a toss-up. I don't even know.
Number 3 for me goes to Superman Wonder Woman 16. And I have to say, every book that Wonder Woman is in this week, I had to pop my ears. All of a sudden they clogged.
Oh.
Every book that Wonder Woman's in this week, except for... No, actually in that one too. There's reference to her being the God of War. How many more references do we need that Wonder Woman's the God of War? We get it. She's the God of War. Please.
I thought she was an Amazon.
She is, but she also is now the God of War.
Oh, well.
She's the embodiment of war. Please, stop telling us. We know, DC. We know you made your Wonder Woman the God of War.
That is for people who are in all New 52 that don't know, maybe.
Anyway, you have a little bit more of a story with Magog's past, and then we get introduced to, and her name, Circe, or Circe?
I think Circe, I guess.
Circe?
Just call Circe.
I know.
Because the E is
This woman right here, let's put it that way. This woman right here is who we get introduced to. And all of a sudden now, the focus goes from Superman to Wonder Woman. Again, now the Superman Wonder Woman book has made it very equal, so I'm not taking points away because, you know, sometimes it would focus on Superman's gallery of villains, and now we're focused on Wonder Woman. So she wants to kill Wonder Woman because of a deal that her mother made years ago, and I'll get to that. You got Superman fighting Magog. You have Circe who takes Wonder Woman away. Magog, now remember in the last issue, Superman's holding the bridge up by its cable. He can't let go of the cable or millions of people will die, or the people on the bridge are going to die. I said millions, but the people on the bridge are going to die. And Superman basically takes out Magog long enough to fix the bridge and then break Magog's staff, which I could have even told you was the wrong thing to do, and then he teleports away and Argus takes Magog away, which is good. We might see him in the future again. Now we're at the island of... I. Sure, unless that's an R, but if that is an R, that is a very bad R because it looks like an A. I. Anyway, Superman breaking the staff sends him right to the island, apparently. And we get the background story on Circe, why she wants to kill Wonder Woman. Her mother made a deal, basically, to get, what was it, enchanted weapons, or an armory. Enchanting of the armory for the Amazons. And in exchange, Circe would get serving males, or the surviving males, I should say. The surviving males would go to her. And of course, Wonder Woman's mom turned on Circe because she was evil, and now she wants revenge. We didn't see that coming. Wonder Woman breaks free, but now, under the influence of Circe, we got Superman going after her. So, we'll see where it goes from here. But I'm loving the artwork. I like the story so far. Very interesting stuff. The focus on this story arc, obviously, is Wonder Woman. And really good issue. I'm enjoying Superman Wonder Woman for what
Superman's
it's worth.
getting picked on this issue for some odd reason?
Yeah, he does get beaten up a bit, but I mean,
Well,
he doesn't bleed, but he does get, he gets beaten down a bit.
Him so evil and stuff.
They didn't make him evil. I mean, he's
Well,
under magic.
I'm just
Remember,
saying,
Superman is weak against magic.
By possession, evil, I meant.
Right.
Like taking over his mind. He's getting very easily taken mind control.
I feel bad for him in the Superman Wonder Woman book. He's getting beaten up by everybody. Zod.
And that too, yeah. I remember that.
Wonder Woman's family. I mean, she's Doomsday. The Doomsday virus. The Doomsday virus. So we're now at number 2.
Yeah. And I want to give this a try. Silk issue number 1, and this is actually from the pages of Spider-Verse, actually. And to be honest, I actually enjoyed this book. It actually, talks about, her going up against...
I looked into the book. I have to say this. I did briefly read. I didn't read the whole book. But I will say that the artwork in this book is nice for this book. SpiderMan could have been done a little bit better, in my opinion.
Here's some artwork, by the way.
But I like the ending where you see where this book is going to exactly go. And I love how she ended up right back at the bunker.
Yeah,
anyway.
and also her family life. Her mother was, really something else. with what she wanted to do in life and stuff like that. And then she also works with J. Jonah Jameson. It was actually cool seeing him in the book. We get like past,
flashbacks.
Flashbacks. Thank you. I was trying to think of what it was. And with Dragonclaw, let's just say that he sort of died transporting wise, because if you look really closely, there's no body in the helmet. So it could have been like a whole transport thing. Then, and then it goes like, once again, flashbacks. So then she has a talk with SpiderMan and with lots of stuff of, what's been happening. It was like just a brief conversation. Black Cat seems to get in the picture of
she's
wanting to go
around
see
with
Silk. So, that's going to be something. And
it turns out Silk's whole purpose now is to find her family.
Exactly. I was just trying to find the words for it, but
well, it's not something that's like
pretty interesting.
not a huge secret.
I think it was pretty good.
From what I briefly looked through the book, it looks interesting. But
I thought I wasn't gonna like Silk because of the whole Spider-Man Silk thing happening, but she's actually an interesting character.
You think this title will hold up?
Well, let's see. I didn't say if it will or not.
Guys,
just let's see.
All right, and guys, give us just 2 seconds, and at the click of the button, I will conclude number 2, and we will go into our number 1 favorite books of the week. Okay, my number 2 book of the week goes to Batman Superman 19. Artwork for this book was great. You have Batman, Superman, and Supergirl going into the bottled city of Kandor, and you get a little background on all of Kandor if you are not up to date with what's been going on. How Superman got Kandor, which was when Brainiac attacked. Superman saved Kandor, but then during one of his fights, the fortress exploded and Kandor was stolen. By whom? The person that is targeting Superman. So, now, this person is basically brainwashing everybody on Krypton to believe that he's brainwashing them to believe that Jor-El was evil. He's the reason why Krypton exploded, and Clark, or Superman, is just as evil as his father. I skipped a lot of dialogue, but Superman, Batman, and Supergirl, like I say, go into the bottled city to try to figure out what's going on and save Kandor. And then that's when they find out about the whole perversion of the truth. And then you have Superman and Supergirl looking for her friend, or going to the tower to free the people who are being enslaved by we don't know who. And Batman going after Superman's family, because it turns out that Laura's sister and mother live in Kandor. So basically, and I don't know how I feel about that, Superman's mother's sister, so his aunt and great aunt live in Kandor. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. It all depends. But we get the reveal at the end of the book, which I'm not going to spoil, but is a nice page spread of who the person is behind everything. And I gotta say, this was good because I didn't see it coming. Very good. However, this person has possession of Superman's family members. And it looks like they're going to be fighting against them. This person also irradiated Kandor with yellow sunlight, so they all have superpowers now. This was a good issue. The artwork was good, the last page was excellent, and the reveal, I didn't expect it. That was the most important thing, to not expect it. If it was somebody, I would have gone, oh, who didn't see that coming? It would have ruined this book, but this story arc, artwork, story, excellent. Loving it. Greg Pak, you did an amazing job. And the artist, another one that's doing amazing work with Superman, Batman. Hopefully he stays on the book. Artist is Adrian Schaaf. Good job. I love this book. This was one of my favorite books from the week. And this was a pretty average week, I'll be honest with you guys. Yeah. Mike's number 1.
Yep, and that will be Trinity of Sin issue number 5. More adventures of Pandora, Fam Stranger, and The Question. And it was like, how they were stuck on that cross thing, and The Question managed to get out of it. I mean, I really saw that coming. I do have to admit, though, I really like the artwork in this book. And it was just him at first. Didn't want to help Fam Stranger Pandora, but then these like demonic beings come up to him saying, "Oh, who am I?" And it was just really getting to his head. Oh,
that's okay.
And I forgot what the angel was. So anyway, all in all, he just goes back and frees Fam Stranger Pandora after their demonic selves stopped him from doing so. He actually did that. And they think that they're in paradise and everything, but in the end, they're not in paradise because apparently Nimrod is still in all this that's happening, and
still waiting for the Thundercats to show up.
Yeah, the Thundercats.
Nimrod.
Oh, yeah, in the final chapter.
Mumra, Nimrod, get it?
Yeah, I got it. And we close out next time with the final chapter of Trinity of Sin.
You sure it's number 6 and not number 7?
It says right here. Next issue is our final chapter.
Okay.
The offering. So
Maybe
if it's explanatory enough, that's the final chapter. Unless they're gonna come back with something, and I really like these characters. Well, maybe a little bit of the question I could live without.
And one other thing I'd like to say about Batman and Superman really quick. With Batman being in Kandor, he's holding his own. Batman is a really kick-ass character in Batman Superman, I will say that. Amongst Kryptonians, Batman still holds his own. It's just because he's Batman. My number 1 book of the week has to go to Justice League 39, the final chapter of the Amazo virus. Wonder Woman, Superman, and Lex Luthor, along with Captain Cold, are the last ones to stand against the infected. Apparently, the virus, or basically Patient Zero, takes over everyone's body and controls them to fight against Lex Luthor and the others to basically infect the entire world. That's the purpose of the Amazo virus. It wants to infect everyone. And basically, Wonder Woman tells Superman, trust Lex, give him your blood. Work together, do the best you can so we can, and she says give him one more chance. One more. And she makes sure to say it twice. She says, am I clear, Lex? One more chance. And Superman gives his blood to Lex. Lex makes a cure. Superman's supposed to be working with him, but things don't go so well for Wonder Woman, who, again, makes claims about being the goddess of war. I don't know how many times I'm going to hear that before that gets old. But anyway, Superman joins the fight. The artwork in this book is really good. Jeff Johns' writing for this book is excellent. So Argus shows up, and Lex Luthor makes his cure, finally. And here are the ramifications, though. 3% of the infected people now have metahuman powers, with dozens of other people who were cured still not in check. So there are tons of metahumans out there now. New metahumans. And I like how they show a couple of them. They show one guy who's got like electrical powers, and then they show this other guy called Almost Fortune. And I could swear I know that name from somewhere, because when they say or villains and they show this guy, I have a feeling we'll be seeing him in the future anyway, so we'll find out then. And then it turns out Amazo actually heals himself, and he becomes more of a classic looking Amazo. And he swears that Lex Luthor will fall to the virus, and he will be infected by it, and then he will kill and spread the Amazo. Basically, he says, I'm Amazo. I will spread, I will kill. And then we find out who might be the person that put the hit out on Lex, and I was wrong. It has nothing to do with Night Owl. It might actually have to do with somebody else.
What?
That was a shocker. And then the last page, I'm going to spoil it because it's awesome. Because of Power Ring, Flash actually reaches out to somebody who could help talk her through willpower. And when you say willpower, what do you say? Green Lantern is back. And I love his opening statement. So where's Batman? I want to see the look on his face when he hears Green Lantern's back. Next issue is the prologue to the Darkseid War, which won't happen until after Convergence, though. So
really, you gotta wait that long?
March is going to be the prequel, and then for 2 months we get Convergence, and then we go right back into Justice League, and right into the Dark Side War.
Wow.
This was an excellent issue. I love the Amazo virus. I love the story arc. I like the writing. The ending was really great with Green Lantern coming back. Obviously, there's going to be a Justice League of America book that kickstarts right after Convergence also. Hopefully, that'll be more of a classic Justice League. We'll have to wait and see. We have no information on really what each title is going to entail yet, but looking forward to it. So that's it for this review, guys. As always, really quick for the news, because by the time this gets out, it'll be too late for the haul. This Friday is supposed to be Epic Rewind. However, not much has gone on gaming, so either it will be Epic Rewind or it'll be Dark Avenger Live. One or the other. There will be a live show. It will be this Friday, and we will talk about the games that we've been playing, whether it go under the title Epic Rewind or Dark Avenger Live. It will be discussed.
Or Dark Avenger Epic Rewind Live.
You shut your mouth.
We
Anyway,
mix it up.
there will be news in the haul, like I said, explaining what's been going on this week, what will be going on next week, and then hopefully with the week of the 9th coming, my regular schedule being back. When I say regular, I mean my original schedule that I haven't been on in over 7-8 months now. Finally getting back to that schedule at work will mean I have more time to do work on this channel, on Frontline, everywhere, and that makes me very happy. Not only for the amount of videos I'll be able to do, but the amount of content I'll be able to share with everybody on all of our channels. As always, though, don't forget to check out comic-related Frontline Zone 4 Podcast and Frontline Gaming Zone. We are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. Feel free to comment below your thoughts on this countdown. Do you agree with the countdown? Do you not agree? Recommendations, your thoughts on any of the books we talked about here. And yeah, hopefully this week we'll be back on Frontline with a couple of reviews. Not with these books because it's a bit late. Next week's books, I'm sure we will start off with Frontline again. I do have a lot. I will give you guys a little bit of a teaser. I'm working on a lot of things. Some things are secret right now, but other things I'm working on for Frontline. Going to be really great segments, hopefully, for Frontline. Mystery Box Mayhem has started and moved very strongly forward. So we'll see where that goes. Also, until next time, everybody, take care. Keep reading, keep collecting. We'll see you guys in the next review.
Hey, everybody.